Greeting, ghouls and goblins, and welcome to this evening's seance. Tonight, I ask for your ghastly help in the retelling of a chilling tale. Spirits of the great beyond, show me that you are here tonight by showing me a candlelight. Greeting again, ghouls and goblins of the evening. Yes, we are all gathered here now. So, to help me tell this chilling tale, we'll use this spirit board to begin our story. These three symbols have various meanings, and we'll begin by asking the spirits to guide us towards one of these to begin. Spirits, guide us towards one of these symbols tonight, if you are here with us. The spirits are yes, spirits. An interesting choice. It seems the spirits have made their decision. One quiet night, All Hallows Eve, a cabin in the woods sits peacefully, the exterior handcrafted and sturdy, though showing its age. Warm orange glow oozes from beneath its entrance and slowly spills into the surrounding forest. Muffled sounds of bubbling and whirling mix with the sweet chirp of evening crickets. A soft, muted knocking at the door pulls a shadowy figure away from a bubbling cauldron. Trick or treat? A small voice calls out, sweet as candy corn. A cold wind escapes the cabin door as it opens, as the small guest struggles to pull her lab coat over her many tentacles. She nervously fiddles with her costume tie. Hello there? The cabin guest slowly creeps past the door. It swiftly shuts behind her, the gust from its speed blowing dust and tufts of colorful hair around. It is quiet and dimly lit. A few steps in front of this cabin guest, a small lantern can be seen. They make their way towards the lantern cautiously. A sudden, sharp, prickling sensation is felt as the guest lets out a small yelp. It can be felt, but not seen. Startled, the trick-or-treater begins moving faster, the need for caution diminishing as the fear takes over. Another prickling sensation is felt, and another yelp is heard from the guest. Another stab, and another. Among the pain being felt, the guest steps begin to move like molasses. Fear has fully grasped the small trick-or-treater. With no stamina left, she falls to her hands and knees. The lantern seemingly just as far from when she started. Trembling, the guest squeezes her eyes shut in hopes the pain will ease. The room suddenly fills with light. The guest, blinded by the sudden brightness, attempts to make out the surrounding area. Stood on a wooden board, splattered red, she falls backwards in shock. The sudden motion causes a wave of stinging pain to wash over her. Tiny trick-or-treater turns to instinctively face the pain's source. Each tentacle has been pierced by a wooden dowel and stretched to their maximum. The guest's eyes catch the glimmer of a large, bony hand looming just above her head. When suddenly, the cauldron rumbles and bubbles as if savoring its new violet hue. Spirits, guide us to our next tale portion. For whose story will we unravel next? A knife, as it is told. A strong knock is heard at the cabin door. The figure who stood over a bubbling cauldron stops and releases their firm grip on the ladle. Kikiriki, or treat! A small, shrill voice excitedly yells out. The door of the cabin opens slowly, just enough to allow long, shriveled fingers and pointed, unkept fingernails to grasp the open door's edge. A strong sulfur odor leaks out of the door and envelops the small trick-or-treater. Before another word can be spoken, the spider-like hand darts out from the door, quickly taking the cabin guest by neck, squeezing tightly. The hand retreats into the cabin, taking the trick-or-treater with it. The door slowly shuts. Two small pieces of candy from the figures grasp, fall and grab, bounce to cabin steps, escaping the horrors from within. The cabin guest is forced down onto a wooden table, firmly held in place by large, bony fingers. With a free hand, the figure takes a large kitchen knife and slowly drags it along the feathery trick-or-treater's neck, traveling slowly down to the chest and the stomach, as if planning its first and final incision. silence falls as the figure raises its arm, knife in hand. The cauldron turns a vibrant, fiery red. The thick scent of gravy mixes in the air. Our next story begins as another strong knock is heard at the cabin door. Yo, get tricked on, now give me some candy! The voice rhythmically beatboxes. The door to the cabin slowly opens. The bold guest casually trots inside. Realizing the situation they were in, they cease beatboxing. The lights go out, and the bold guest is quickly snatched up by their feet, their toy scythe clattering to the ground. Hey, listen here! They cry out, voice cracking from fear. Suddenly falling, they land on something ice cold, smooth, and sharp. Hey, my scythe! The guest hollers into the dark. You messed with the wrong reaper, fool! A soft click is heard. As the bold guest makes it to their feet, they reach out their hands in a desperate attempt to ready themselves to fight back. Their hands are met with glass. Glass wall to the left and to the right. The lights are turned on. A long spider-like finger emerges from a dark cloak. It slowly reaches closer and closer. A few inches in front of the trick-or-treater, it stops, as if anticipating its next move. And suddenly, the cauldron simmers lightly as whispers of red and pink swirl from within. The cabin windows are splattered with a deep crimson red. Our final chapter of this story leads us once again to the cabin. A jumbled, rapid knocking ensues. The loud pounding at the door of the cabin reverberates into the dark woods. Muffled bickering overpowers the knocking as the door opens. The door stands ajar, its latch swaying in the breeze. The duo of trick-or-treaters still stood at the entryway, egging the other on about candy bag size and weight. The yellow one gives a quick shove to the other as they cheer out, "Trick-or-treat!" in unison. When no answer is heard, they join hands and peek their heads inside the doorway. It's warm in the cabin, lit by various candles about the room. A cauldron is seen simmering, but it's too large for the duo to see its contents. one of the guests spot a large glass bowl of candy overflowing with colorful wrappers. Psst! Jackpot! The yellow guest shoves an elbow into their duo. How are we supposed to reach that? The blue guest whispers, seeing that the candy bowl sits atop a very large bookshelf. I got an idea, states the yellow trick-or-treater. Race ya! Shouts Blue, interjecting the other. The duo race to the edge of the bookshelf and begin to climb. Fully absorbed in their ascent to the candy, the pair fail to feel the bookshelf begin to tip. They make quick progress, their paces matched. Gleeful smirks across each of their faces. Friendly competition is what they live for. Blue suddenly loses footing, but a quick catch by Yellow pulls her back to the bookshelf's edge. The weight shift causes the bookshelf to tip further. The two realize it is becoming harder to keep their grip as gravity takes hold. Halfway up, Yellow pulls an odd contraption out of their trick-or-treat bag. It's a toilet plunger with a rope tied to one end, shoved inside of a handheld t-shirt cannon. Grab onto me, I'm gonna launch us, Yellow shouts. As Blue leaps on to grab Yellow, the bookshelf tips further, this time continuously. Yellow takes aim, but by now gravity has fully taken hold. The plunger shot falls back towards the duo, falling to the ground. The candy bowl creeps closer to the edge. The contents of the bookshelf slide towards the floor. The pair have now realized their dilemma. They cling tightly to the other as the entire bookshelf crashes to the floor. Dark red splatters cover the floor and bookshelf contents. The candy jar is shattered, and colorful candy dots the dark wooden floor. Ew! This berry juice is sticky! Blue groans out loudly. Yellow tosses back a loud gurgling shriek. Ha ha ha! Mine! All mine! The candy is mine! Ah! She throws a large handful of candy up into the air triumphantly. Seemingly unfazed from the fall, the cabin guests cozy up next to one another and unwrap a large rainbow candy. It's sweet and sour at the same time, slightly spicy, unlike any candy they've ever had before. It's swirls of pink, orange, and violet melting on their tongues. While gorging themselves on their spoils, a large, shadowy figure appears before them. Its dark cloak hiding its identity. It quickly snatches the duo in both hands. Wrinkled, sticky fingers tightly squeeze around both girls as they attempt to wiggle free. They are carried to the cauldron. Peering over into the large black pot, a rainbow of colors mixes before them. The heat from the cauldron begins to burn at their legs. The fire beneath the cauldron grows angrier, licking up the sides of the pot. The pair share one last glance, as the shadowy figure swiftly and effortlessly contorts the two into a knot shape, bending each member's limbs around the others. A pretzel of blue and yellow flesh is dropped into the cauldron. Within moments, the atmosphere is aglow with hues of purple, blue, orange, pink, and yellow. The shadowy figure slowly stirs the pot contents with a large ladle. When a knock is heard at the cabin door once more. This time, a group of excited, eager voices can be heard just outside the cabin walls. But that's a story for another time. I'd like to thank the spirits today as they guided us on this short journey of a retelling of a chilling tale. We ask that you enjoy the rest of your evening today, spirits, as you pass on, and try not to haunt any of us while you're at it. Thank you, spirits. Have a lovely evening. Good night and farewell.